Well, all right, and welcome back to another exciting edition of the Planet Gen X podcast. We're so excited to have you with us. I'm Sean. That's Brian over there. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Oh, wow. The last Doctor Who episode finally aired. And,
it did, but...
yeah, I have some thoughts on that. But before we get into everything...
First.
Yeah. Please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like what you're seeing. If you don't like what you're seeing, hit the dislike button. We take those too. We'll take likes or dislikes. They're there still. Those little thumbs down. You can hit those too. It's okay.
You can.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Tell us to go suck an egg.
Yeah. That's right. That's what the comments are for. So leave us a comment if you want to do that too. We greatly appreciate it. We want to hear from you. We want everybody to contribute in their own little way. So yeah. Getting right down into it and into things, I'm going to surprise the world, I'm sure, by saying the following.
At least anybody who's seen the past two episodes, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did. I declared last episode the Doctor Who was dead. I thought it really was. But they managed to make a move that I will actually support. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. I have said for years, it's been a while now.
But wow.
Yeah, if you want to change a character's ethnicity, gender, sexuality even, make a new character. Yeah, because I heard for years that, well, we're doing it because so-and-so needs a role model. Okay, well, why didn't you just create a character for that so-and-so instead of just taking something that everybody remembers, like taking James Bond and turning it into a woman? It just seems a little ridiculous. So when Doctor Who finally comes down to, we all believe we know what's coming, that the new Doctor is going to be a gay Doctor. We've already gone through a woman Doctor and whatnot. When you make a move like that, I kind of wish they'd have done it before they changed over to Jodie Whittaker, but they separated it. They literally gave you a doctor that they could do that with, and I applaud it wholeheartedly. It's not exactly what I've asked for in the past, like create a completely new character. I mean, you're still taking a character. I mean, it's literally the Doctor, but it's not, okay? And you left us David Tennant to remind us that we still have David Tennant. You gave him a TARDIS, and you kind of feel like he's going to be back at some point, and he can be remembered as your Doctor, and it's not fouled up.
How many times are we going to give Tennant's Doctor a happy ending, though? That's my question.
I'm telling you, man, it's
because I think this is like the third one, right?
Yeah, and they I don't know if he's just forgetting the lines he's wrote, but I find a lot of similarities in these episodes, like just literally rehashed lines, not just rehashed ideas, but like whole lines of stuff. I'm like, I've heard this before, But yeah, I've got to say that you probably couldn't have done any better to try and satisfy people. You're going to piss people off one way or the other, and it's inevitable, especially in fandom. I guess you try and deflect that as much as possible if you can. I think they actually gave it some thought. I didn't hate the episode. I liked how it kind of talked about how absurd the world is, and it is. When it was a little weird for me because I'm like, yeah, and you've been a little bit of a part of that absurdity. Because I still don't understand his obsession with the wheelchairs. Yeah, I mean,
I do.
I'm glad you know.
I found this out. That was actually fan service. A fan who was in a wheelchair actually wrote, into
Russell.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Davis.
Wrote him and was talking about how the TARDIS was not handy accessible.
Yeah.
Right. And so he was like, well, I'm going to fix that. So that was literal fan service. This was, say what you like about it, but whenever you write to somebody like that and they go forward with something like that, I think it's a feel good thing. Personally, I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I just unnecessary in my opinion,
Yeah.
but whatever. It's done. There's nothing we can do
Right.
about it now. It is there. The wheelchair accessible TARDIS. Fine, whatever. You got your wheelchair accessible TARDIS. Leave Davros alone. Fuck off. You can have all these people in the wheelchair all you want to, but leave Davros alone, man.
I've got a question for you, because I don't know if this is just me. I know we don't have a lot to go on, but did Judy kind of feel a little bit more like the previous doctors before Eccleston to you?
He felt
don't
like
know what it
nobody to
was.
me, which I loved.
I don't know. Well, it's
Because
just, maybe the approach to the character was a little different. I think it's mainly because I went back and watched some of the Doctor Who episodes recently, and I don't know if you'd call it a bottle episode or not, but Midnight was kind of a bottle episode,
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah.
And it was great. And, to me, the difference is kind of night and day, right? Between like what he was doing back then and what they're doing now. And I think it all comes down to a showrunner, right?
Yeah.
Whoever directs it, whoever writes it, whatever, if there's someone on set that everyone's answerable to, you get a different product.
Well, back in the day, they used to have a lot more individual writers. It was like you could get guaranteed like 6 individual writers, and then like Russell was writing 6 the other episodes, and then the Christmas episode. So like that's when you had 13 episodes back in the day.
Yeah.
And when Moffat came on board, it seemed like it was. I mean, they still had that, but it seemed like it was all Moffat all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm used to classic Doctor Who was always you had a producer, you had a script editor, and they pretty much decided everything, but you still had individual writers that wrote individual episodes. And a lot of times the scripts editor would sometimes get away with writing an episode, or they would take something that somebody had written that was not quite what they were looking for, and then they would change it up to meet their standards. But I think I have constantly begged for them to back off, letting the EP produce so many episodes. I mean, like write so many episodes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. There was a difference between the beginning of Moffat, right? It was good episodes, but then he got into like these overly long arcs, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it was and it was just poorly spaced out. I mean, he's doing these arcs, and at a time when Doctor Who was coming out at no kind of regular intervals at all. I mean, like there were 2 years between one season, a year and a half between another.
And gobbling up a ton of Christmas episodes too, right?
Yeah, tons of Christmas episodes, and then they decided they wanted to mess around with the damn half season shit, where they show you half the season, then wait later. That was trying to get to be their answer to spreading it out appropriately, which I applauded too. I didn't hate it because I just wanted some consistency because I couldn't fucking keep up with what was going on. And I to this day still don't know a lot of some of that because I haven't watched it more than once. I have them all now downloaded to one hard drive, all the new Who, and they will get watched soon. We're going through some classic Who right now.
Cool.
But yeah, man. I mean, like, ultimately, I came away from this episode feeling pretty happy as far as I've come to peace with what I can expect Doctor Who to be now. So I have no expectations in the future. I don't particularly care for Shooty's touchy-feeliness. Yeah, he's a little too much of that for me, but whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Especially offsetting when he's in like that dad after work outfit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, like, put some freaking pants
underwear and a tie wrapped around.
That was a little annoying. Like, it made no sense, like, why he's running around in his underwear.
Right.
Like, if you got any clothes at all.
Why not all of them?
Yeah.
Right?
Or, well, I mean, like, if I saw Tennant shirtless, then I would assume maybe he's underwearless and tieless too, but he still had a shirt on and shit. So I'm like, okay. There was a little bit of a stretch. They obviously just wanted to, dare I say it, gay him up a bit. That's what it came across to me. Like,
I don't know. It just came across to like dad after work, right?
my wife said that maybe he has really sexy legs, and I took that to mean that she already had already decided that he had really sexy legs. But
Maybe
she
they
was
just
like,
wanted to show off his butt.
yeah, that's kind of what I got from it. I don't know, man, but so we'll see how it goes. I will watch it. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. I watched Jodie Whittaker's stuff. As bad as much of it was,
Yeah.
but my expectations are that my Doctor Who, as far as like, dude, okay, for my Doctor Who's been gone a long time, so I already had to accept the classic Who was gone years ago. I enjoy New Who very much up to a point. I don't think I'll ever be able to recapture that again. That doesn't mean I won't, and I will be happy that Doctor Who is still going on for somebody.
Right.
Because maybe they'll discover the classic ones one way or the other.
How about a big yay and props to NPH? I thought the fact that he, if I'm not mistaken, he is a card-carrying member of the Magicians Guild.
Is he?
Yeah. And so I feel like as a break, there were some scenes where you see him do some sleight of hand.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
the juggling and stuff. I felt sure that he was doing that for real.
Well, he probably was.
Yeah.
But there were some, like, I think he was doing a shuffle cut, and I think they kind of framed it in a way where it was just his hand, which I felt was kind of a waste.
Oh, wow.
But, kudos for them trying to, incorporate some of his real life ability into that.
Right on, yeah. I love NPH. I always have, especially after Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Well, that's all right then.
Yeah, he's well, and not only that, I mean, like, I love Doogie Howser back in the day and fucking Starship Troopers, dude. I mean, come on.
Best, yes.
He just really is the best as far as playing characters like the one in Harold and Kumar.
The only interesting character, in my opinion, of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, right.
Which I never watched a ton of, but
me either. But I know of what you speak, and true. If I was going to watch that show, he's the only person that I ever like even remotely gave a damn about.
Yeah.
Because that just wasn't my bag. And one at a time when I watched particularly a lot of shows like that anyway.
I felt like it was kind of a waste though, because Jason is actually an amazing actor, a truly funny guy, and I kind of felt like his talents were kind of wasted there. But
yeah.
We're going off on a tangent.
Yeah, off on a tangent. So that's pretty much it. Is there anything you want to add before we get out of the world of Doctor Who?
No, that's really it. Just having gone back and watched some of the old episodes, the pecking order, I guess, was probably important.
Yeah. Well, so Doctor Who starting out a new life, new doctor, new timeline, basically. Season 1, as we told you way back when. So they literally are kind of rebooting it, which is fine. We'll see how it goes, man. I mean, New Who was New Who back in the day, and we didn't know how that was going to go. So we might all be pleasantly surprised. Just have to wait and see. We got a Christmas episode coming up, so we'll see how it goes.
Maybe Disney will not be as Disney as I'm expecting.
Yeah, I hope not either, because I really came out hard on them for the first 2 episodes, and then
rightfully so.
Yeah, in that second episode, man, I'm sorry, that was a complete waste of everybody's time, and it's a shame that you wasted a Dr. Donna episode on that. It really is. Shame on you, Mr. Davis. But anyway, I told you the other day that I had busted out the Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
You did.
So I'm playing along, man, getting past where I've, gotten before. This is the second time I've ever played it. And I didn't get very far at all. I was just checking it out the first time. And my wife comes home. And I'm like, okay, yep, time to wrap things up, man. Spend time with the old wife, right? No big deal. And I go to save, and I can't fucking save. It's got a little lock down in the corner saying you can't fucking save. And so I'm like, Jesus, okay. So I go on, little further along the story, you know, whatever, and go, okay, surely I can save now. Go to save. Still got the fucking lock on there. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Okay, here we go, some more. I mean, finally, it's like 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, I know, like, my wife's wondering where the fuck I'm at, because I was like, I'll be out there in a minute, you know? And finally, I'm like, dude, fuck this bullshit, dude. I mean, like, honestly, why the hell can't I fucking save? And I'm just like, exit. I don't know where it'll end up. I'm hoping that there was a checkpoint at some way along there, because I basically was on a wagon, a covered wagon. We left a little mining camp. So if you remember that at the beginning, see, I'm not very far at all. You were at the mining camp. We have just left the mining camp. I'm in the wagon. We go across the creek. The wagon throws a wheel. Okay. It's at that point I was like, fuck this shit. We put the wheel on and everything, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. So I'm hoping that somewhere, you know, a checkpoint will be, but who knows how far and few between the checkpoints were, where they were at, how far along I had to go without a save. And we're talking about it now because this is not the first game that's ever done this to me. And I compare it to a game like Cyberpunk, where I can save literally anywhere I want to at any time. I even have a quick save option where I don't even have to fool with fucking putting in a name or anything like that, or clicking extra buttons. That's it, man. It's like, you know, kung fu fucking saving, man.
Right.
And yeah, dude, I really want to fight. Dude, Red Dead Redemption 2 is clearly a fantastic game.
Right.
For many, many reasons. But to have this as its save state way of saving is just bullshit. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
I recently spent too much time in a game called Mars Deliverus. It's not a really old title, but it's been out for a long time. And it's a similar thing. You know, you play through and you'll get like automatic saves. That's your only option in that game. You only get automatic saves.
Those make me nervous as fuck.
Well, I mean, the worst part is like it's almost like point and click. You're just like experiencing storytelling with picking up a little bit of things here and there with puzzles.
Yeah.
And the puzzles, So yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that. I really hate games that do like Cyberpunk and then put you in an area where you can't save. We've had plenty of those.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's areas in Cyberpunk where you can't save, but it's few and far between. I mean, it's at least giving me 1,000 options to save beforehand or wherever I need to. You know, if I know I'm going into a bad situation, I'm like, oh, I'll do a quick save, you know, and I know I'm fine with coming back to this point. No big deal. I don't know how everybody else operates, man, but I can't be fucking locked down to not being able to jump out of a game. That sucks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, though. There are other games that aren't as kind as Cyberpunk was with it, right? Where they'll lock you into like a whole game world, and you can't save until you finish this one objective.
Right, and it's literally like a whole chapter they'll fucking lock you into as well. And listen, I get it. You're trying to keep me planted in that spot, but no, don't. That's not. Your good game should keep me planted in that spot. Don't worry about fucking holding me there by a save state.
I think it's also like sometimes there are devs that are big fans of roguelikes and stuff like that get that put in on their levels or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, make a roguelike game. Don't put that in my game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, say that for your bullshit. Just don't like it, man. Gotta be able to jump out of a game at any time.
Agreed.
Right on. All right. Well, now that we've gotten that settled, last thing I know of, man, we mentioned it, let's see, about a month ago, I guess. And I really don't have anything extra to say, only that it just further proves that it is definitely happening at this point. The Battlestar Galactica reboot is still a thing. We know that, what's his name? Sam Esmail. Yeah. He says the Battlestar Galactica series is probably going to pilot soon.
Right.
Yep. So that is awesome news. Obviously, there's nothing to talk about. You know, I mean, this is what we've already speculated on, that we've heard that it's going to be linked to the last reboot series. That it's going to be within that world anyway.
On Peacock.
Yeah, on Peacock. And I can't wait to see what they come up with, man. Without Ronald D. Moore, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Sam in this genre, right? Because Battlestar was obviously different than everything else.
Very much so.
And probably room for his style and whatnot, but I don't know.
Well, they brought the documentary film style to television, to drama. So they were definitely pushing all kinds of boundaries. And just so different from the original, too. Like, I mean, so different. but yet very much the same in many ways.
Well, also, there's the question of how, most successful, in my opinion, franchises, shows, whatever, they hearken to things that you can consider part of the human nature or the human experience, whatever. But they'll try and draw in ideas that are pertinent today, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, especially in science fiction.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes I kind of turn my nose up at that.
Yeah. Well, for the last Battlestar, it was kind of like religion. It was like a lot of Mormon religion, I believe.
Yeah.
Based on that.
And to me, it's just like, this is supposed to be way far in the future. Why aren't you dealing with things that people aren't thinking we're going to deal with, right?
Yeah.
That would be a sign of a good storyteller.
For sure, man. Especially now that we have, the big buzzword nowadays is what, AI.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, these are the kind of things which, it's not new to television and movies to tackle, but now let's really talk about, okay, we have it. It's here, and it's on our devices. So let's have some drama or any kind of television or movies that expands on that and what it's like to live now, for sure.
Yeah.
How about doing fucking something with us trying to go to Mars, man? That'd be cool.
Well, I mean, I don't know. When you think about it, there have been a number of movies like that.
Absolutely. I'm talking about TV show more than anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, these things are commonly extrapolated into TV shows like games and movies and whatnot, right? So, like, Total Recall, obvious one, right? The Martian, and just a variety of things in between. There's a lot of material there, but generally it's coming from existing genres, stealing tropes and stuff like that.
They ought to do a whole Elon Musk type character doing what he's doing, like a real life, a fictional version of exactly what he's doing for TV.
What, just going up on stage and throwing the bird?
Well, I mean, if that's part of it, yeah, he'll have to deal with some kind of media mogul, not Disney. They'll call it something else in the show, but yeah, and he'll have to tell him to, go fuck himself. You gotta love it, and that's fuck you money right there, buddy. I said that on his Twitter too, or X. Sorry, I said that is fuck you money right there.
You're not alone. Everybody still calls it Twitter, dude.
One day it'll be called X, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a whole brand recognition BS. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't even care either. Because, I mean, most people know what you're saying, Twitter. It's just easier to say Twitter. It may forever be called Twitter, just as like just old holdovers. I was trying to think of an example besides that we still call things. Maybe like calling a soda a Coke or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a
I don't know, man. Most of the times, even when I see it referred to as X, it's like Twitter/X.
Yeah, I know, right? Because and that's mostly everybody just trying to make sure everybody knows, hey, I'm talking about X. Twitter X and not Space X or something like that.
Right.
He's going to run into an issue there eventually on X.com when it finally does. I mean, X.com is live because it just goes to Twitter, but eventually that's going to be one big portal for everything Elon. In about 10 years, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, it might be like everything we do goes through this one portal or something.
Inner X.
Yeah, just welcome to Planet X. That's what it will be called. Well, it won't be Earth anymore. Yeah, I'm just rambling on at this point, aren't I?
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a couple of pauses here and there, and I'm kind of wondering if we're getting to some good stuff or if we're just killing time.
No, I guess I'm just rambling, man. We didn't really have much to talk about. I just wanted to talk about that Doctor Who episode and get those couple other things out there. I did see, and this was going to be on one of our things a couple weeks back, but I left it on my phone and didn't get it transferred to the show notes, and that was like, I saw where PlayStation had killed some digital rights for some. I wish I could tell you exactly because I had the link and I was going to be more professional about it. But did you see that? What I'm talking about, where people are just going to lose the rights to some shit because Sony decided to flip the switch off?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it was not games. It was like music. And stuff.
It was like movies and music and shit.
Yeah.
DRM stuff.
And yeah, they were like. Something.
If you bought your movies through PlayStation Store or some shit like that, it was like, sorry, fuck you.
Well, they had their own unique service. I think it was View or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think rights there ran out, and that's where the stuff was stored and whatnot.
Yeah,
so,
it's like if you bought it us, sorry, fuck you guys. Ski guys. Yeah. I brought it up to say that that's such a lousy thing, and that's why I hate stuff like that, man. I really
get ready for more. Everything you hate, get ready for more of it.
Yeah, right. It's all there's no way we're going to just have our own shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's all just going to be out in the ether somewhere.
I was going to say, like, Starfield is going to be a perfect example of what I was talking about, of the new format that was adopted by Cyberpunk and BG3. They're just going to, like, release, and like maybe there'll be problems, and they're just gonna charge full price for it and everything. We'll fix it, and they'll eventually fix it, but I mean, it's just gonna be
it'll be like horrible. Legacy fucking gaming. You just keep, and maybe they'll charge us for it every couple of years, and it'll be the same game too. We'll just hope that it's a little better. This is your 3-month renewal, or your 3-year renewal for Cyberpunk 2077 on its 6th year now.
Last of Us Online is getting ditched.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you saw that.
No,
yeah,
I didn't.
They just figured it was too much of a drain on new IP.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means. I mean, is they're not making enough money on it, I guess.
I think it's just,
because when they say
drain, I don't even think it's that point. I think it's they don't want to pay devs to work on this, and like they want to like tighten their workforce. That's what's going on right now, right? Everybody's tightening their workforce, and they don't want to split it.
I get you.
Screw that. We're scrapping this. Here's where we're going.
Putting their resources into one area, just spreading it thin. Yeah, I can dig it. It's tough times for a lot of people. Yeah. No doubt.
You ain't a CEO.
That's right. So, that's all we got. So, thanks guys so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing this new Christmas special of Doctor Who. I got to be honest and say that. So, let's see. This is will we have Christmas? Let's see. Christmas is next Saturday, so we'll actually have a podcast Christmas Eve if you're not going anywhere.
I am going somewhere. I will be out of town on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
I am going out of town the Friday before, and I will probably be back midweek. So, don't know what your plans are. We may try and do something just via straight the phone. But there may be a mic issue.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know, man. If Brian can't make it, then maybe I'll just do a little quick hello to everyone for a Christmas episode. I don't know. If not, if we don't see you guys and we don't record an episode, all of you have a Merry Christmas, because We want you to enjoy it and have a
Happy
happy and
Hanukkah,
safe
all that good stuff.
holiday with your friends and family. Yeah, happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and all that. Kwanzaa is almost like at the end of the month, isn't it? Like 30th or something like that. Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us as always. Be excellent to each other. I'm sorry.
Maybe.
What?
I said, if nothing else, maybe you can just do a live stream of Christmas Day opening your presents.
Yeah, that would be weird.
It would be, but,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, as always, be excellent to each other because Brian's going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.